I want you to imagine a pain so intense that medical journals often equate it to the agony of childbirth. A pain so profound that it frequently sends otherwise healthy adults to the emergency room, trembling and unable to find a position of comfort. This is the pain of a kidney stone. It is a grinding, radiating, debilitating affliction. And if you have experienced it, you know it is something you never want to experience again. If you haven't, you desperately want to know how to avoid it. For years, we have been told that kidney stones are caused by poor hydration or simply bad luck. We blame sugar, we blame soda, we blame processed food. But there is a hidden culprit, a beverage consumed by millions, often considered a healthy alternative to soda, that is one of the most potent triggers for the most common type of kidney stone. It is seemingly innocent and refreshing to drink. You think you are hydrating and cooling your body with a natural, healthy drink. But in reality, you are drinking a concentrated solution of the very substance that is designed to crystallize inside your kidneys and form those razor-sharp minerals. In this video, we are going to expose the silent chemistry of the kidney stone. We will reveal exactly why this particular drink is an oxalate bomb, and more importantly, we will give you the precise, 3-step biochemical protocol that will prevent stone formation and allow you to break free from this agonizing cycle forever. Before moving ahead, a disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Please consult your healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle, especially if you have a history of kidney disease or chronic stone formation. Let's start with the anatomy of the agony. First, we must understand what a kidney stone is and why it causes so much pain. Your kidneys are your body's master filtration system. Their job is to pull waste products and excess minerals from your blood and package them into urine. The stone itself is a mineral deposit, or crystal, that forms inside the kidney. Approximately 80% of all kidney stones are made of calcium oxalate. The true agony is not the stone itself, but the journey. The stone is stationary in the kidney. It causes a dull ache. The true crippling pain, known as renal colic, occurs when that crystal detaches and attempts to pass through the ureter, the tiny, narrow tube that runs from your kidney to your bladder. That tube is only a few millimeters wide. When a sharp, jagged piece of mineral attempts to pass through that tube, it scrapes the walls, causing a spasm of the ureter. This spasm is what generates that radiating back-and-forth pain that medical professionals describe as one of the most severe known to man. But why do these crystals form in the first place? It is a matter of simple chemistry, known as supersaturation. Your urine is essentially a solvent. It is designed to keep minerals dissolved. But when the concentration of minerals like calcium and oxalate becomes too high, the solvent can no longer hold them in solution. They crash out of the solution and begin to stick together, forming microscopic nuclei. Over weeks and months, these nuclei attract more mineral deposits, gradually growing into the sharp, dense stones that can destroy your health. The chemistry of the enemy. The central villain in this entire process is a chemical called oxalate, or oxalic acid. Oxalate is a natural compound found in many plants. It is essentially a defense mechanism. Plants cannot run, so they produce these chemicals to discourage predators from eating them. It tastes bitter, and when consumed, it binds tightly to minerals. Think of oxalate as a molecular Velcro. When you consume foods high in oxalate, that Velcro travels through your digestive system. It passes through the gut and is then filtered out by your kidneys. The minute it reaches the kidney, it seeks out and binds to the calcium that is already present in your urine. When oxalate meets calcium in the kidney, it forms calcium oxalate. This is a crystal that is highly insoluble. It does not dissolve easily in water. It is almost guaranteed to precipitate out of the urine solution and begin the agonizing process of stone formation. Now that we understand the chemistry, the paradoxical culprit in the everyday diet becomes clear. The culprit exposed. The single beverage that you must stop drinking immediately if you have a history of kidney stones or chronic dehydration is iced tea. Hot tea, consumed in moderate amounts, is not the same problem. The danger lies in the high volume, high concentration, and method of consumption of iced tea. Tea leaves, especially black tea, are naturally rich in oxalates and compounds called tannins. When you brew tea, you extract these oxalates. When you chill it and pour it over ice, you are creating a concentrated oxalate solution that people tend to drink continuously throughout the day in massive volumes. For someone prone to stones, substituting water with iced tea is catastrophic. You are constantly flushing your kidneys with the very mineral that is destined to crystallize. You are replacing the solvent, pure water, with the chemical agent, oxalate. This problem is compounded because many people drink iced tea instead of water. They use it to quench their thirst, often consuming well over 2 liters a day. If you are chronically drinking iced tea while dehydrated, you are creating the perfect, highly saturated environment for crystal growth. Research has repeatedly linked high-volume iced tea consumption to recurrent kidney stones. While iced tea is the primary liquid offender, there are other hidden oxalate traps that people perceive as healthy. Spinach smoothies. Spinach is one of the highest oxalate foods on the planet. Blending it raw delivers a massive bioavailable dose straight to your kidneys. Almond milk, unsoaked. Almonds, along with cashews and peanuts, are high in oxalates. If you are drinking large quantities of homemade almond milk or high-concentration nut beverages, you are increasing your oxalate load. Chocolate and cocoa. High-quality dark chocolate is a potent source of oxalates. The 3-step biochemical protocol. To prevent kidney stones, we must target 3 distinct points in the process: volume, chemistry, and absorption. Step 1. The volume protocol. The absolute foundational requirement for stone prevention is hydration. This is the solvent approach. If your urine is highly concentrated, stones form. If it is dilute, they cannot. The goal is not just to drink water, but to measure your urine output. You should aim for at least 2.5 liters of urine output per day. This requires drinking significantly more than that, often between 3 and 4 liters of pure water daily, particularly if you exercise or live in a warm climate. Drinking large volumes of pure water keeps the concentration of calcium and oxalate low. The urine is too dilute for the minerals to crash out of solution and crystallize. You are constantly flushing the minerals before they have time to stick together. Step 2. The chemistry protocol. This step targets the chemistry of the urine itself. Nature has provided a powerful antidote to calcium oxalate formation in the form of citrate. Citrate is a mineral salt found in citrus fruits. When citrate enters the kidney, it acts as a molecular shield. It binds to the calcium in the urine, keeping it dissolved and preventing it from binding to the oxalate. Even more powerfully, citrate actively inhibits the growth and aggregation of existing crystals. The most effective natural way to flood your body with therapeutic citrate is through lemon juice and lime juice. Adding the juice of 1 or 2 fresh lemons or limes to your water throughout the day can significantly increase your urinary citrate levels. This is the single most important biochemical intervention you can make outside of hydration. Pharmaceuticals often use potassium citrate to treat recurrent stone formers. You can achieve a powerful natural effect by simply replacing your morning glass of tea with a glass of lemon water. Step 3. The absorption protocol. This is the counterintuitive and most misunderstood step. Many people, once diagnosed with calcium oxalate stones, stop eating calcium. This is a massive mistake. The majority of oxalates that enter your body do so through your gut, not your kidneys. You want the calcium to meet the oxalate in your gut, not in your kidneys. When you eat a high-calcium food, the calcium binds to the oxalate in the digestive tract, forming calcium oxalate crystals right there in the intestine. Since these crystals are insoluble, they simply pass out of your body harmlessly in your stool. They never enter the bloodstream, and therefore they never reach your kidneys. However, if you follow a low-calcium diet, The oxalate cannot bind in the gut. It remains free and unbound. It is easily absorbed into the bloodstream, where it then travels directly to the kidneys. The rule is simple. You must consume adequate dietary calcium, dairy, fortified foods, bone-in fish, with your highest oxalate meals. Never eat a spinach salad without adding some cheese or yogurt to it. This traps the oxalate in the gut and prevents its absorption. The final warning and action plan. You now understand the silent enemy. The refreshing glass of iced tea, the spinach smoothie you drink after the gym, and the avoidance of calcium you thought was healthy are the structural flaws in your diet that lead to stone formation. To reverse this process and prevent future attacks, you must take immediate, decisive action. First, banish high-volume, high-oxalate beverages from your routine. Replace the iced tea with pure water and supplement that water with fresh lemon and lime juice. Second, start treating calcium like a defense mechanism. Pair high-oxalate foods, like almonds and chocolate, with a source of calcium to ensure that the molecular Velcro binds where it belongs, in the digestive tract. Kidney stones are not a matter of luck. They are a predictable consequence of poor chemistry and hydration. By understanding the simple science of supersaturation, you gain the power to prevent the agony and protect your health. Take control of your chemistry. You are the solvent.